Taoiseach, what I would like to ask you is, are there standing orders or written material on what the Economic Management Council is, or what its function and role is? Taoiseach, many people feel that a coup d'etat has taken place inside this government, that the Economic Management Council has seized all powers to itself. The Taoiseach, yourself, Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister and 2 Finance Ministers. 4 horsemen of the austerity apocalypse, the austerity agenda, so to speak. And you ride roughshod over your cabinet ministers. Now, the Minister for Social Protection has evidenced great angst over this seizure of power and has delivered of herself quite publicly on the issue, let alone the number of private briefings that she's given, which seem to go on endlessly. But I'm not too concerned about bruised ministerial egos. But more seriously, you ride roughshod over the democracy of the Irish people. That's the key point, Taoiseach. Now, your predecessors in history, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse brought pestilence and famine. You haven't gone quite that far yet. But however, the Economic Management Council foists the dictatorial demands of the European monetary and political establishment on our people to save the financial interests of the big bondholders and financial markets, and at a huge cost. And indeed, I do ask you to answer the question raised by the revelations by the deputy editor of the Sunday Business Post, where the president of the European Central Bank dictated to a few ministers who came in and dictated to Parliament to foist on the Irish people the entire burden of the European financial crisis and the crisis brought about by the speculators and the bondholders. Can you explain that? Did any of your ministers revolt at the fact that a cabinet decision to burn them, to some extent at least, was overturned by the 4 horsemen of austerity? You really have to explain this to our people. And Taoiseach, finally, do you not realise that the people fundamentally distrust you and this government? On Friday, do you realise that this was a huge factor in people's minds, the undemocratic way that your government has operated, that you couldn't convince the people to abolish an institution elected by means that would make blush the managers of the old rotten boroughs in 1700 and 1800 Ireland? So I believe, I wonder if you agree with me, that it's time that the Irish people took back the power, the Irish working people took back the power from the bondholders and the bankers, and from the government that carries out the wishes of that massively both private and powerful sectors to the huge cost of our people.